Okay, so we have this problem here, f of x equals 20x squared plus 4x plus 2. So you can see on Desmos right here, doesn't intersect the x-axis anywhere, so we're going to have an imaginary solution. Alright, well, let's take a shot at this. So it was 20x squared plus 4x plus 2. Okay, well, to solve this, I'm just going to use the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So let's start plugging in our variables. B is 4, c is 2, and this is a, it's 20. So when we plug it in, we would get negative 4 plus or minus square root 4 squared minus 420 all over 20 times 2. Okay, so let's start simplifying this a bit. How to tackle this, just want to simplify it, what's under the root, and this as well. So when we simplify this, we will get 40 over negative 4, nothing changed there, can't simplify yet. Still under the square root, 4 squared, that's just 16, minus 4 times 20, that's 80, times 2, 160, minus 160. So as stated before, we'll have an imaginary solution, so a negative under the square root, that's about right. So now, where do we go from here? I mean, we have a negative under the square root. When we solve this, this will come out to square root negative 144 negative 4 plus or minus over 40. But I mean, not much you can do because it's a negative. This is obviously 12, it's a perfect square. 12 squared is 144, but it's negative. Negative 12, can't use that because that's positive 144, can't use positive 12. So this is where our friend I comes in. I is equal to the square root negative 1. And we're going to use this to give ourselves a value here. So let's clean up the board a little bit. Alright, that's good enough. Negative 4 plus or minus. So simplifying again, this is the square root of 144. So we can just reduce this to 12i over 40. Now we have a plus or minus. Now we're going to get down to solving. We have to do two equations because it's plus and minus, right? Alright, so let's start with plus. Negative 4 plus 12i. Well, this is a complex number here, so you can't combine like terms with this. This is a real number. It's not an imaginary or complex number like this is. This has an imaginary unit, so we have to treat it differently. So we need to get I by itself, basically. So how are we going to do that? Well, we just got to factor this equation. Well, what do these have in common? 4. So we just go ahead and do 4. This will just be negative 1 because negative 4. And then this will be plus because we're solving for plus right now. And then we'll do minus. And 12, 4 times 3 is 12. So this is 3i. And this is all over 40. Well, right now, this is really simple. In the numerator, we have a 4. Bottom, we have 40. Great. Can just do that. Do 10. Now this is over negative 1 plus 3i. And that's our answer, but it looks a little gross, right? Because, I mean, it's not in complex standard form, so let's put it into complex standard form. So this will be x equals negative 1 over 10 plus, right, 3I over 10. So that's our answer for x. Now we have to do one more equation in the minus form. So let's go ahead and tackle that, rewrite all this. So we had x equals negative 1 over 10 plus 3I over 10. So now let's just go ahead and solve this, but for the negative now, this was 12I over 40. Well, negative 4 minus 12I, this is what we're going to have, negative 4 minus 12I all over 40. Okay, great, same thing here, we're going to have to factor. What do they have in common? This time it's a negative 4, because we have a negative here and a negative here. So let's take that out. Negative 4, boom, this will just be 1, negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, and this will be plus now because we already took out the negative, and this is 3I here, 3, and this is still all over 40. Okay, well we still have 4 in common here, so we can get rid of that again. This will be over 10, don't forget the negative, so we will have negative 1 over 10 plus 3I over 10, and I've just written that in complex standard form, so we're done here. We can do just write it again, x equals negative 1 over 10 minus 3I over 40. And oh, sorry, not over 40, over 10. And here is our two coordinates for the x-intercepts. And we're done.